Good day, beautiful people. My name is Jonathan Cabana, your real estate agent for the Greater Montreal. And today we're going to look at the region of La Montérégie for the month of September in terms of what happened on the real estate market. So we're going to look at the bad, the ugly, the good, everything in between. And also at the end, as we always do, we're going to look at what's sold with realtors and compare it to the market, what's sold with FSBO. So through the marketing company of Du Proprio. In the meantime, if you're looking to get a ballpark figure of the price of your home, you're also going to find a link in the description. Just enter your address, fill out the information. You'll receive an AI generated value of your home, but I wouldn't sell my home based on that because there's a lot of things missing to make sure that it corresponds to the price of your actual home, but it gives you an average price. Also, if ever you're looking to buy, to sell, to relocate, or to invest, again, all the information are in the description. Give me a call just to ask ourselves a couple of questions to see how I could possibly help out. In the meantime, cue intro and see you on the other side. All right, so like I said in introduction, today we're going to look at the market, the real estate market, and how it behaved in the month of September for La Montérégie. We're also going to look at what sold with houses, condos, plex, what type, did it go in overbidding, under asking, etc., etc. And at the end, like we always do, we're going to look at what sold with a realtor and what sold with FSBOs throughout the marketing banner of Du Proprio. So when we start and we look at the data, we can see that in the month of September, 1,266 houses were sold in all, an augmentation of 16%. We actually, at the present time right now, have a total of 6,336 properties on the market, an augmentation of 19% in comparison to last year. We have 2,339 new inscription, an augmentation of 17%. When we dive in a little deeper and we go look at the single homes, what we can actually see right now, when we look at single homes, we see that we have a median price of $529,000, which is an augmentation of 4%, $375K for condos, which is an augmentation of 1%, and plexes, what we can actually see is in comparison to last year, well, there's a drawback of 3%. So now the condo that you bought last year at the same period would be worth more than what you could sell it for right now, stabilizing at $535,000 in comparison to last year. When we dive in deeper and to be more precise in the category of single homes, what we can actually see is we had 854 sales, an augmentation of 17% in comparison to last year. So people are buying more. And we also have 4,106 listings that are actually active as of right now, an augmentation of 18% in comparison to last year. Those two numbers right here, this and this, are quite important. Why? Because this, as more as it goes up and there's a discrepancies between this and this, it means that there's more inventory on the market, meaning that with time it could come a buyer's market. But as of right now, we'll see that it's still a seller's market. Median price of house is $529K, an augmentation of 4%. And what we see from the beginning of the year until today is this: we started a little bit lower, goes up, stabilizes a little bit down, goes up, and now we're a little bit down again. So for the month of September, we're still up by 4, but in comparison to last month, well, we're a little bit less. We have a delay of sale of 59 days, an augmentation of 10 days. And what's interesting is this graph right here. On 100% of what was sold, we have 17% that was sold at the asking price, 7% that sold in overbidding, and 15% was negotiating under the asking price. When we look at that graph here, what we can actually see combined with that number here is we're still very strongly in a seller's market. So we still have not that much of an inventory, and thus, well, sellers are still having a dominant part in the market as of right now. Condos, we're seeing about the same thing. So we have a median price of $375,000, an augmentation of 1% in comparison to last year. And what we see with the graph is from January, there was like an accordion type of moving market. So we had ups, down, and slowly but surely with the diminishing interest rates, we're seeing a new slope going upwards with condos. But do bear in mind, there's something that we need to keep in our heads. We have the Law 16 and the Law 141 that the government put into place a couple of years ago. We do know that by 2027, they will enforce that law. So as of right now, that's what's in the air regarding those two laws. And the Law 16 states that a syndicate needs to have the amount available to pay for, what's it called? A deductible, exactly, a deductible in case that there would be a sinister. And so to cover the insurance. So that means that all syndicate need to have that sum in their fund. Second of all, what's going to happen is the Law 141 states that everybody needs a booklet. So a book that's going to tell us what needs to be done, when needs to be done. So by 2027, the goal for the government is to have all syndicates having that without penalty. And what we're seeing right now is we see Desjardins and BNC already being upfront into that situation, whereas they stopped lending money if the condo didn't have sufficient funds. And we're going to see that if they do this, everybody's going to do that. So as soon as big banks start sneezing, everybody catches a cold. But let's go back to our statistics. So we have a sales delay of 55 days, an augmentation of 5 days. And what we see here is that we are having 328 sales this month, an augmentation of 18%, 1,457 inscription on right now, an augmentation of 21%. And what we're seeing here is slowly but surely the gap between the new inscription and what got sold has a lot more inventory coming in. So long term, we should see this also becoming a buyer's market. But as of right now, when we're looking at this graph right here, on 100% of everything that was sold, 87% got sold at the asking price, 3% got sold overbidding, and 10% was sold negotiating under the asking price. This combined against with that tells me that we are in a seller's market, and a good seller's market right now. So when we go into the Plex, that plays a little bit differently. So we have a median price of $535,000, it's a drawback of 3% in comparison to last year. And what we actually see right there is more of a chaotic graph. So we had like higher numbers, lower numbers, started going up again, down again. And what we see is that we are back at the same period as last year. This is the 23 graph. So we see that the 23 graph were higher than the one in 2024 right now. So that's what we're seeing. So it's a little bit more chaotic. And also what we see is that we have 81 sales, an augmentation of 3% in comparison to last year. We also see the discrepancies between those two curves going up. So we have more and more inventory. We see 657 inscription on the market as of right now, or an augmentation of 14%. And we have 87 days delay, an augmentation of 19 days. So when we go look at the resume of everything, we did have 1,266 houses that were sold for the month of September. 854 houses, 328 condos, and 81 plexes. In all, we have 4,106 listings on the market right now for houses, 1,457 for condos, and 657 for plexes. Median price, $529K in comparison to $525 for 2023. $375 in comparison to $361 in 2023. And this is where the difference is, and where it hurts is that we have 535,000 K right now, and last year we had 550K. So the difference is we have a diminishing of 1% in comparison to the other one. So we have sales delay, days on the market, it's 59, 55, and 87. So as I say, each time we end this, I always like to do a comparison between what got sold by realtors and what got sold by FSBO through the marketing companies. Why? Because we have the right to sell any way we want. Yeah, that's good. But what I would like to do, and what I would like to know when I decide to do a project like this, is what's the best percentage of success? Why? Because at the end, facts don't care about our feelings. It's nothing subjective, it's quantifiable, observable, and measurable. So it doesn't lie to us, and it's not based on interpretation. So I like looking at that so people can actually make their own ideas out of it. So let's go back to this. We had said that we have 1,266 houses that were sold in all for the month of September with realtors. Now, what's interesting is this, not that graph, not right away, but this. For the month of September, if you look here on the 3rd of October, I went 30 days back, look at what was sold in La Montérégie. And we saw that there's 33 homes that were sold throughout that marketing company. Then we add this to the 1,266 house that we have right now, and it's easily at that point to make a table of three to see the market shares that each and one has. So when we look at that, what we see is that 97.5% of homes got sold throughout a realtor, and only 2.5 got sold with FSBOs in 100% of the homes on the market in La Montérégie that were sold for September 2024. This tells me that the following information is that even though we have every right to sell the way we want, if I were to put my house for sale, I need to ask myself the question, where would it work most efficiently? Where would it probably be the most successful? And the data doesn't lie. The data is there. It's out of our subjective specter. So right now, the information that we have is the best way to sell a house is with the collaboration of a realtor. So in conclusion, my name is Jonathan Cabana. I do hope that you did like the stats for the month of September. Don't hesitate to leave a remark. And if ever you're moving in 9 days or 90 days and that you need help with your project, all the information is in the description. Give us a call to ask so we can ask ourselves a couple of questions to see how we can possibly help out. In the meantime, do take care. Talk to you soon. Bye.